SKILLET. Man, it is cold outside, baby. I don't know if I'm ready for this. How come they didn't take me down to Mar-a-Lago? It's cold. Is that part of the stimulus relief bill?
Hmm. I think the stimulus relief we need is a bucket of hot chocolate. I'm telling you, it is cold outside. Jay, are you ready to get into it?
Man, bucket of hot chocolate was my old stripper name.
Oh, let's get ready to rock and roll. You know what it is. You know who it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the talk of the 219. We are the hottest talk in the 219, even when it's cold outside. When it's cold outside, yeah. Who
We know
wants a bucket of
we
cocoa?
we know who was getting a bucket all night, and we know where it wasn't cold. It was flaming hot with them Atlanta Hawks last night.
Hey, man, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the bull rush because that's what happened. The Bulls got rushed up off the floor. It was a disaster. It was like a preseason game.
Do
It
you
was
know
the
what it was like?
game that you couldn't even watch.
Do you know what it was like? It was like one of them dance offs where you have the one team gets out there and they got one guy who know how to do the break dance and then spin around, the regular spin around, and then the other team come out there and that guy can like spin around on their head and like hop around on one hand and do all that type of stuff. And then he ain't even the good guy. Like he's the worst one. That's what it looked like last night. Like
I,
your
I,
crew your
I don't
crew
know.
your crew got served.
They not only got served. I mean, this is a team that gave up 41 and 42 points in the first two quarters.
when they
Um,
when they were getting 30 ball, I couldn't believe they were getting 30 ball. And then I looked at the quarter that they were in, and I'm like, they're getting 30 ball, and it's like the middle of the second quarter. They're getting 30 ball.
yeah.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. I mean, I don't. This is the worst I've ever seen. This is the worst I've ever seen the Bulls defense. Absolutely
I
the
mean,
worst.
they set records.
Yeah,
Records. They set records for futility. They were only a few buckets off of setting the all-time record for the most points giving up in a quarter and in a half in NBA history. The only bright spot that we can even talk about, and I guess that's what we've got to go towards first, is Patrick Williams, who had 16 points in his debut. Jay, we said it in the pre-show, but now that you've gotten to see Patrick Williams, what were your impressions of the rookie from what you saw from the time you saw him on the court?
look, he is playing against a team, the Atlanta Hawks, who are notorious for not playing defense because they're just
Right.
going to come out and outscore you. You had Gallinari out there who's not going to play too much defense. Bogdanovich who's not going to play a lot of defense. Trey Young is not going to play a lot of defense. So you looked like you were going up against guys who were double teaming and triple teaming you and keeping you for the ball. So I look at you only scoring 16 points. I'm like, are they not running the offense your direction, or is Kobe White not facilitating a hot hand? You looked at Bears, where the Bulls were just bad on both sides of the floor, which was really it looked like they didn't understand the offensive scheme, what they were trying to get done. I saw a lot of careless passing between Levine and White. A lot of times balls were just going, right directly toward Atlanta Hawks players. It looked like they were just out of step. Like you said, it looked like they need a 3 or 4 more preseason games before they get going because they got hammered tonight.
I thought maybe this would be the result of not having a long preseason where you have a truncated season, but when you're looking at what's going on now, and you had mentioned it in the pre-show when we talked about this is what expect this with Kobe White, because you really, if you thought that you had the answer at the point guard position,
Absolutely right.
I
Right.
think Billy Donovan's going to find out very quickly that nobody on that squad outside of maybe Patrick Williams is the answer right now.
Well,
That's how bad it is.
you look at, you were looking for a Zach Levine to get off. At
Right.
least try to get off. Now, was it probably he wasn't getting the ball? Um, I don't know. I mean, it was so bad on both sides. It's really hard to pick through it and say, here's the problem. Here's how to fix it. Because defensively, I mean, we're going to talk about their defense, but that was the most ridiculous defense that we've seen in years. Like, why didn't they have Wendell Carter Jr. coming up and cutting off Trey Young? Were they worried about him coming to the paint? Trey Young has a floater game. A floater game. He's the number 4 scorer in the NBA for a reason. You can't leave Trey Young space like that. You got Kobe White chasing him over the top, and he's so smooth on when he's being chased over the top like that. He's so smooth. He slows down and waits for the guard to run into him from behind, and then he just pushes the ball up to the rim on a nice soft floater. This is what he does. So it's just a situation where you see the Bulls were outclassed by a guard. This is only his 3rd year in the NBA. That's absolutely amazing to me. That they got outclassed like this. So absolutely amazing. It was. I didn't expect him. I didn't expect him to be good, but I didn't expect him to be this bad.
Yeah, I didn't know that it could get as bad as it got, but I maybe and okay. I know Zach wants to be that guy. He takes on the hard assignments. He wants to be the alpha dog in the room. But when he got in early foul trouble, and by the 3rd quarter, when he was almost neutered by foul trouble, well, by that time you were already at 83 points. So you come out of the half already down to a team by 83 points. I know Billy Donovan isn't a bad coach. I know he knows how to put schemes together. But I wasn't ready for this one. So I can't even tell you like, yeah, I saw that one coming. The only one I can really say is maybe Wendell Carter Jr. I have been less than impressed with him this season as it started, even in the preseason. But, I mean, when you talk about it, really, Pat Williams was the only bright spot. Only. And he, as you said, only 16 points.
Only
but
16.
He did at least have 16 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. He was 5 for 11 from the field with 6 free throws that he made, but at least you saw some offensive production. I mean, you got nothing from Otto Porter Jr. You had guards sitting out.
But you know what, though?
I don't know.
But where was the pride at on defense? Where was the pride? You had Trey Young get 37, and he only played 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Where was the pride? I mean, are we just going to pick him up off the floor and pat him on the back? Hey, nice move on me, man, you really made me look bad. I hope my mom wasn't watching. I mean, nobody out there. At some point in time, I mean, ain't nobody got upset. That's my biggest problem with this guy. At one point in time, I didn't see anybody getting upset on the Bulls team. They were getting run out the gym. I saw nobody trying to fight over and really lock somebody down. Now, Trey Young, again, is so talented but you got to, if you go, look, if you get caught in that pick and roll, and Trey Young is coming across, and all of a sudden he's got the ball, you got to nail Trey Young. You got to put Trey Young on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Make your fouls count. These little ticky-tack fouls for these guards coming from behind that he was getting hit with, you need to hammer Trey Young then. Let him know we just ain't going to take this behind whooping without a fight. It was the effort wasn't there. That's my biggest problem. There was no effort. Where was we're getting our butts whipped by 30? Where was that effort? And so I don't know if Billy Donovan just hasn't time to instill that into the guys yet. Maybe you can't do that on a Zoom call. Maybe you can't. But, some people are going to end up not getting playing time. I mean, my starters that were out there this time, it might be some starters not starting. We might be bringing some guys off the bench to start because that effort was terrible.
Well, I mean, we can still throw out nuggets from what this debacle is. It's just general awfulness. 42 points marked the most points in an opener in Bulls franchise history. And again, as I said, it just fell 2 points shy of setting a record in opening period in NBA history.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I mean, even though the Bulls scored like I think 56 or something like that by half, at that point the Hawks didn't care. They were just like, okay, we're going to shoot almost 70% from the field, and there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was hoping that this was going to look pretty good. I was really hoping, but now I'm less. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm more distressed from this year than last year. I don't know,
Right.
distressed, disgusted, whatever. I'm just like, they're not going to be any better than this. That's why. That's why we needed LaMelo Ball. We needed LaMelo. We need a
You
guy.
have a Yeah, you need somebody because you can't just play your two-way CBA, ABA, MBDL, DLBL, BDA players. You know, if you playing a cat that's on a two-way contract, heavy minutes, it's something wrong. If you've got your veterans, Thad Young, Thomas Satoransky, Denzel Valentine, Garrett Temple not playing because of, quarantine or whatever it is or injury, and this is the effort you get. You get a point guard who's not a point guard, who's just, I get it. I get it, Jay. You've said it. I am finally a believer that at this point in the NBA, you are just literally trying to find players that are effective. They're good players. So you're just going to put two guards, maybe three forwards, or two forwards and a center if that's possible.
Look,
But
you got to get guys who want to compete. This is what
yeah,
I didn't see these guys compete. You know, I mean, I don't care who it is. I mean, I don't care who it is. If they were playing against the Lakers, and they happened to get James Harden, and they brought Michael Jordan back out of retirement, whatever it was, you got to go out there and fight and compete. I mean, you saw our guards trying to go over these screens, and they were late getting there, and then Trey Young was just killing you, and then Bogdanovich was killing you. You know, so there was I think they had 3 or 4 people on the Hawks in double figures.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Cam
every
Reddish. Cam Reddish
Cam,
was in double. Cam Reddish looked like an all-star against the Bulls.
sad, absolutely sad. You know, it's just absolutely sad. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't. I
I
mean,
just
yeah,
want to know, am I throwing in the towel too early on Wendell Carter Jr.?
no, I don't. I don't know. Wendell Carter showed me a lot last night. I'm gonna tell you who's the happiest bull out there though.
Here's that.
Chris Dunn.
Ah, shots. Brow. Just wow. It's too early for that.
just,
It's way too
just,
early for
just
that.
happy he's not in that mess no more.
Yeah, man. I told you in the pre-show, I'm almost we're almost at the station. I'm almost ready to get off the Valentine train. I'm
Wow.
almost
That
I'm
that
there. Yeah.
that's a lot to say from a man who had, I love Denzel Valentine, tattooed on. Well, I'm not gonna say where it's tattooed at, but had the
Yeah.
heart, had the heart Valentine on there, and I love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
now I gotta find a girl named D Valentine, so it just covers it up. You're like, oh, you put my name on you. You be like, yep, it was you.
Yeah, little laser surgery, they can take that right off.
Yeah. And that's about what the Bulls need, a little laser surgery and take off. And okay, does Daniel Gafford know what he's doing on the court?
Look,
Is he a,
this is
he
my
like a
whole
YouTuber?
problem. I don't think any of them knew what they were doing. I mean, not any of them. Any of them's the wrong word. Most of them weren't sure where they were supposed to be,
Okay.
especially on the offensive side. I saw a lot of, I'm throwing the ball over here. Oh, you went that way. How many times did they just throw the ball to the Hawks?
Yeah, just here. Take that with you.
Take the
Here,
hey,
take that.
hey, have you scored yet? Nope. Here's the ball. Go get one. Basically, that's what I mean. So, are they going to get better later on? Yeah, I think so. But this lack of effort and Billy Donovan, where? Come on, Billy. I need your inner Bob Knight to come out. I need you to start throwing chairs. Do something.
Mm,
Do something.
mm.
You
Well,
know.
I did get some good news because I was somewhat disturbed last night after watching the Bulls game. I saw Otto Porter as he was playing, and it just something was off. And then I realized that Otto Porter has a new business.
What's that?
It's called Otto Porter's Burgers. It's a homemade and a self-contained all-you-can-eat burger buffet that he has at his own house, and he can go there anytime he wants and just eat burgers because Otto Porter looked like the big boy from Azar's Shoney's Big Boy. He was out there. I was like, dude, I don't know if he is the starting power forward or if he is the center for a sumo wrestling team. I don't know what it is. I saw Otto and I saw braids and I just saw a lot of flub and wub. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, I think a
You know
lot.
what you were COVIDing and doing.
I think a lot of this has to do with guys. I hate on this team right now that a lot of guys did not take their conditioning seriously, and I think it showed. I think it showed because you need. Billy Donovan said they need second and third efforts out here. He actually played a guy. What is this guy's name? Adam Mokoko.
Adam Manuka.
Yeah,
Adam Manuka Pukukuku?
they
Yeah.
played him.
Adam Manuka.
They played him because of his foot speed, because he'll actually attack guys and he's good at playing on one-on-one defense. If you got to pull a guy out of the stands and there's nobody in the stands, they literally went out on
Ah!
they literally went out on Madison Avenue and dragged this guy in. Tell him, hey man, can you hit us with the two-step? Let me see some footwork. All right, that's good. Come on, throw on his jersey and get on out here and play some defense. Because that's where they're at. I really believe a lot of it has to do with their conditioning. I don't think they were ready to go. I think they were, waiting for a training camp. And then somebody said, hey man, training camp's only 3 games, 4 games. Oh really? Oh, okay. But we're 3-1 in training camp. Don't those games count? No. No, they don't count. Now look at you. Foolishness. Not now. Now you are the joke of the NBA. Ha ha he ha. Everybody now is gonna try to get off on you. Everybody. Everybody. Lined up.
Here's the thing. You just said about preseason and they were 3-1. But the one game they did lose to an inspired Rockets team whenever they can play, uh, the Rockets beat them the same way. Maybe not the same percentage, and it wasn't the number, but they got beat like a drum in that first preseason
Yeah.
game. And you're beginning to see maybe next game, maybe by Saturday, they'll be strong again and they'll put in a Herculean effort. But the concern is this inability to have consistency,
And the issue is,
wherein they're up and down.
here's the issue though. And this was a Hawks team that's not predestined to be putting it on people like this. They didn't expect to be dropping it on them like this. And they showed at the end of the game they start giving the lead back because they start playing like the normal Hawks team. This is not that team. So you let this team 40 ball you? 40.
Mm-hmm.
Not a 30 ball. Not a, 25 and a half ball, 31 ball, a 40 ball they put on you.
Right. You're looking at, in the third quarter, 40-point deficit, which was horrific within itself. But now all you have to say is what can be done. What does Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley, what do they have to do now? And is it anything they can do now? But what do they have to do now to help bolster this team?
First thing I would do, I would take everybody's names off the back of the jerseys. They come to their locker with their names off the locker, with their names off the locker, their names off the back of their jerseys. Say, you go, whoever earns their name with the back of this jersey is going to earn this with effort. Right now, y'all don't even deserve people. You don't embarrass your family anymore. Don't embarrass your family. Your grandmama is at a senior citizens facility right now, and then she went down to get her oatmeal and her prunes, and they was clowning her. Oh,
Right.
oh, Gertrude. Oh, you got 40 ball. you know.
Yeah,
What
they're
about
telling the poor baby she can't get her oatmeal. Oatmeals is for winners. They
what?
they won't roll it down the hallway
You know,
now.
the teacher's not gonna even call on your kid anymore at COVID
No,
school.
no.
On Zoom, niggas they just waving their hand, talking about it like this, and teachers are like, nope. Little Janie, nope,
Can you imagine your child is just muted the whole day? That's just by their classmates. Like every time they go to talk, they mute you. And like, at least we can stop you because your daddy couldn't stop nobody last night. It's a bad situation now that we discussed it before. But now the reality is this Bulls team has to go into a full rebuild build mode. And I don't, this whole thing about trying to rebuild on the fly, they're retooling. No, no, boo boo. This is called a full rebuild. This is called, I thought Adam Levine.
Well,
Well, hell,
they
maybe
needed
Adam
Adam.
Levine could play for,
They
yeah.
needed Adam Levine. He could been
At
on one
least
of
they'd have a nice song,
yeah,
like
at
a
least yeah
catchy.
something. Oh look how the Bulls play defense. Nope. Look how the Bulls play offense. Nope. Look at me watching this TV because I'm a dope.
Mm, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's inspired music by Jay Sizzle.
Jay says that's
Please
what I
make
do.
sure that, yeah, you buy the album on. Please don't do that no more
Hey,
records.
and look for all you if you people are listening to me now. New. I don't normally sound like this, but I cannot get this. Working on getting my voice back, and it left about a week ago and decided just like the Bulls not to show up.
Ah! Wow. Shots, buddy. I mean, those are just bang, 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 bang.
I got
Just take that shot.
I got a ton of them.
Okay.
This is
Well,
ridiculous.
look, man. So, at some point, I think you should have just put in all of the rookies. I mean, it's not many of them. Literally, you brought back 13 out of 15 players. Um, so what's supposed to be that different? I don't know.
About
I don't
what?
know about this Bulls team. I mean, it is the
Nothing.
same team.
The only thing that's
These are the same
different.
dudes.
The only thing that's different from last year is that they got the fourth round draft pick, and they needed and they moved up to get him or whatever they did. Where they could have brought in veteran help, they could have brought in a D Rose, and still had this guy. Then they might would have had a point guard. They could have packaged up, moved something around, tried to move up to get LaMelo. Something. You need somebody, some kind of way, because you had a superstar sitting right up in front of you, and you didn't figure out to try to go get him. You know,
Well,
you could have packaged that fourth pick up something and went and moved because
yeah,
you know
it's one of those situations now where you, again, as I said earlier, you might want to think that this might be the time where the Bulls, and maybe that's the long game. Maybe they're actually just looking at the landscape, trying to see what happened and go from there.
the
Maybe that's,
no. I think
I don't know.
I think Billy Donovan already knew what he had.
Okay.
I think he already knew they were slow of foot. The guys couldn't defend 1-on-1. I'm surprised he didn't break out into a zone. I mean, but are they quick enough to move in a zone?
No.
I didn't see Billy doing a whole lot of coaching last night. So I think
Mm-hmm.
he's on a wait and let's see what's going on. And he now he knows
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. He almost had a franchise record scored on him on his first day as a head coach for the
Right.
Chicago Bulls. Just I don't know. I don't know where you go from here because hey. So what we have to do a draft special for this year's coming up draft to see who the Bulls might be getting around for the second pick.
Well, before we do that, let's do a quick rundown of what happened yesterday in the association and how the games went. So you had the 76ers with a very close game against the Washington Wizards, 113 to 107. You had the Magic pull some little magic out and they stun the Heat, 113 to 107. You have the Cavaliers have a good game against the Hornets, 121 to 114. The Knicks got slapped around by the Indiana Pacers.
Oops.
And, it's going to be hard for Tom and those boys, but
Oops.
they'll figure it out. So the Pacers were up 121-107 for a victory. The Bucks got bucked by the Celtics.
Uh
Last
oh.
second shot by your guy, and they lost 122 to 121.
No
The
defense.
Pelicans, okay, Pelicans jumped on the Raptors 113-99.
Watch them
The
Pelicans.
Spurs with an offensive blowout, boo boo, 131-119 for a historic night for John Morant, putting up 44 points. My man was putting in work. The Timberwolves on top of the Pistons, 111-101. The Kings pull out a late second score against the Denver Nuggets, which is 124-122.
Yeah.
The Jazz, they played a tune and beat your boy Dame Dollars in Portland 120-100. And the Suns, they burn up the Dallas Mavericks
Wow.
by catching them 106-102.
You sound like one of those 1950s advertising guys. The Suns burn up.
Yeah, it was all fizzle. All fizzle. But you know what sizzle? It's right here listening to the sizzle on Iron Skillet Sport, Iron Skillet Radio.
Yeah.
It's sizzling. It's sizzling. But I tell you what's not sizzling. Me trying to watch some more Bulls games.
Oh
I'm gonna have
man.
to TiVo, Devo, Revo. I don't know what I'm gonna have to vote.
I was gone. I went back and forth. After they were getting 30 ball in the second quarter, I started bouncing around, trying to look at the British Bakery show, a couple other things, the Andy Griffith show I was watching. And then I'd come back and it was even worse, and I'd leave again, hoping there'd be a resurgence. You know, it's going to be a long year. I'm going to probably have my thumb in traction this year watching the Bulls games because I couldn't switch off and then switch back fast enough.
So you're telling me you didn't take in the whole cinematographic viewership of the Chicago Bulls?
Billy Donovan didn't. He looked like he was just like, what are we going to have for dinner? What are we going to order from Uber Eats? I wonder what that's going to be. How?
You know what's crazy? I saw Arturas Karnisovas videotaping with his phone the beginning of the game, and he was just so happy. I wonder if he kept videoing halfway into the first quarter.
Yeah,
Not even to the second. Halfway into the first quarter.
When they were getting shellacked early. Craziness.
I don't know. I didn't know Trae Young was this good. I didn't know Trae Young was the second coming of Baby Jordan. I never knew that.
Baby Curry. And he's nasty. Trae Young's nasty.
Okay.
Trae Young,
he's nasty.
dude,
but against what we saw against that defense,
he's a number 4 scorer in the league last year. This guy's not. He's just not. This wasn't a joke. This is Trae Young. Trae Young's gonna give you the business.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
if you're being guarded by Kobe White.
And they look. All they did, they set those 2 high screens on him all night long. And they had Kobe looking one way, and he see the screen. Then they go to the other side, he get caught by that screen. If he goes under it, Trae Young's going to stop and shoot. If he goes over the top of it, Trae Young's going to turn the corner and penetrate. And they had Wendell Carter drop it so back far in the paint. I don't know why they were rim guarding in there. He should have went up and cut Trae Young off at the paint and made him dish the basketball or do something, because Trae Young has a midi game. There's a reason why he has a midi game. Is that, you're not going to guard me? I'm going to step inside at 14 feet, 13 feet. I'm going to score this all day long. 37 points in 26 minutes, and he wasn't even trying to score.
Here's the bad part. You were actually right. Wendell Carter probably should have come up and cut off Kobe White. He just should have gone over and turned him off and was like, stop it. No more of your Kobe Whiteness. No more of your frizzy, bouncy hair. You know, I don't know what's worse, Jay. I don't know if Golden State's game was worse as a worse expectation.
No. The Bulls game was worse than Golden State. You sort of knew Golden State wasn't really going to have a shot in this game, and they were playing a superpower. The Brooklyn Nets, don't get this twisted, the Brooklyn Nets are a superpower. All right? They got 2 of the Avengers on their team over there. Plus, they have a bunch of junior Avengers on there. They got a squad. Brooklyn's got a squad. If Kevin Durant stays healthy, oh, my God. If they keep Kyrie under control, and he went up there and
You
got
know,
bushwhacked. You look at this is
there
a
was remember there was a super villain team. They used to fight against the Justice League,
yeah,
and there
and
was
they,
this one with like they had he had an aquarium on top of his head. He had this bowl on his head.
is that back when you were smoking hash when they had the
Mm.
aquarium on it? It was are you having a moment right there? It, back in
I don't something
was
about
was that back in the late
either.
'70s or the '80s? Back in those days, there.
Yeah, it's either Kevin Durant or it's Kyrie Irving. One of them reminds me of like that evil, that Aqua dude, and I think he was in the water and he would fight you and he'd throw water at you.
Oh, that was a pretty good character. I mean, I know you're talking about now. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but no, you. I mean, I would look. I wanted the Warriors to play better than they did, but I knew they weren't going to. You don't have Klay Thompson, Draymond Green wasn't playing. You were hoping, a couple other guys. Oubre was going to play decent. They didn't get anything, and then Steph didn't get off, and he's on with his 20 points. It was disappointing, but you sort of had an idea that was going to happen. This is the Chicago Bulls versus the Hawks. You knew Trey Young was going to have a game, but we got Zach LaVine. You know what I'm saying? We should be that should be an offset. We don't expect Zach LaVine to score 30, but 37, but high 20s, putting some pressure on people. Our point guard is supposed to be fastest guy in the league, one of the fast guys. He definitely his feet don't look fast when he's playing defense. So no,
No,
they were very disappointing. I was very disappointed in that effort.
well, all I'm gonna say is this. All I'm gonna say is this. Um, I think I have a new nickname for Pat Williams already. I'm gonna call him the Bulls Mandalorian because at the end of this, he will be the only one who can carry Baby Yoda safely, which is the basketball, to the hoop. Because everybody else right now needs to be put in one of those cryo chambers. They need to go to one of those Jabba Hut centers, and they need to be frozen up, and they need to be
Yeah,
put somewhere and locked away. This was horrible. It was terrible. It was
this
terribly horrible.
this was sad. This was
Yeah,
sad. So
this was a travesty, a sham, and a mockery to all those who watch NBA basketball. This was a Travis sham mockery.
yeah, it was bad, and hopefully it gets better. I'm hoping it gets better, but that lack of effort was a problem. I don't I don't mind them getting trounced if they were out there really getting after it, but you didn't really
Mm-hmm.
see them really getting after it. So I don't know. It's
Okay. Do you think they can pull this together by the next game to at
no,
least give a
no,
feasible
no,
game?
absolutely not,
Okay.
absolutely not. Wait, I don't. Can you pull together effort?
Ooh, 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 ooh. That's ooh,
You
ooh.
gotta
Very
have a
safe.
lot. You gotta have a lot of want to. Where's the want to?
Look, man. Can I tell you what their next 5 games are going to be? Would you like
Losses,
to hear
losses.
it? On Saturday, the Bulls face the Pacers. On Sunday, so that'll be their first back to back, they face the Warriors. Then Tuesday and Thursday of next week, and they got a Friday game too. Oh, let me run this one down to you. Let me do this. Tuesday, they play the Wizards. Then Thursday, they play the Wizards again, right?
Yeah,
Okay. You ready for this one? You
go
ready?
ahead.
You ready for the sauce? Then they go on the road because they're gonna be on the road with the Wizards. They hit the Bucks, the Mavs,
Shellacking,
the Trailblazers,
shellacking,
the Kings, the
shellacking.
Lakers, the
Wow,
Clippers,
shellacking.
the Celtics,
Bushwhack.
and the Thunder.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They might have a little rubber ball tied in their mouth by that time. Just
How are
saying.
them apples for you? How are them apples for you?
They might not win one of those. With this effort they gave up, they could go over. This was just sad. I mean, the effort was just terrible. How are you 83 points? You almost 83 points in the first half. Are you kidding me?
Dude,
That was just sad.
it, it's against the law, but the Bulls should have the Celtics, the Cavs. I'm not the Cavs. Oh God, that would be nice. The Celtics, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Mavs in a week span.
I felt this is the same way I felt when Arizona State University beat my alma mater, Arizona, 70 to
Oh,
7.
here we
And we
go again.
and you got mollywopped, and
Mm,
I come out of that era, guys were ranked number
mm,
3 in the nation. Arizona was
mm-hmm,
ranked number 3 in the nation when I was there.
mm-hmm.
And now you got, you know, these guys playing like this. I don't understand. I don't understand it.
So, are you saying to the listeners that actually the 83 players from the Arizona team are now playing for the Bulls?
They probably would look. At least there'd been some people laid out on the ground. I know that the guys I played with would have took this butt whipping like that. I know that.
Ooh,
I've seen
ooh.
plenty. I've seen plenty of those guys play. I've seen plenty of guys. I was injured a lot, but I've seen plenty of those guys go out there and ball out. But here's the thing about it, though. I would have rather seen Kobe White, even though he's getting worked out by Trae Young, get up in Trae Young's face. Get up there and hammer him a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Cut him off. Knock him down. You know what I'm saying? Run over him a couple of times. Foul out. Foul out. Fight. When you get your butt handed to you like that. Where's your Patrick Beverly? Where's your inner Patrick Beverly at?
Mm.
Sad.
Hmm. Just because you played for the Chi-Town Bulls doesn't mean you got that Chi-Town in you, baby. That's
Absolutely.
all
Hey,
I'm gonna say.
let's get some explanation. So y'all, my voice is gone, y'all, but I'm so sorry about this, but it is what it is on this one. All right. If Derrick Rose was playing for the Chicago Bulls right now,
Mm.
you can rest assured Trae Young wouldn't be doing all that gypsy doing all over the place. Because at some point in time, Derrick Rose would have gave him the business. Would Southsiders, we don't take that. We don't take that. No, you just gonna come out here and just do your fancy do and just he did a couple of moves. He did a couple of moves like he was out there on the 3-and-3 charity basketball court. That's how bad he was doing. Just lobbing the ball up, running down court. And once the lob go up, he just took off running down court. Knew that duck was going in there. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
All right. So you've got the Pacers and Sabonis coming as your next game.
Butt whipping.
What are your keys for a Bulls victory? How did they pull out a victory from what you saw last night with what you saw the Bulls really put on the court, the product they put out there?
You know what? To tell you the truth, I don't see a victory with that product that they put out there. I just don't. Only thing I want to see on here is some effort. I don't care if they get beat by 30. Let's have some effort. Because right now, I didn't see anybody fighting on that team last night. I saw a lot of guys accepting this butt whipping. If you're getting blasted, let's fight a little bit. Let's decide that we're not gonna get blasted. Let's start locking them up on defense and start hammering. Let's start knocking the guy down who's setting the pick on you. Let's do some of these things. Let's get up and let's step up. Coach told you to play back in the paint. No, I'm stepping up. I'm stopping Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? Let's take some personal responsibility. I mean, you see a lot of these players out here, the great ones, the coach tells them to do something, they tell the coach, I'm not doing that. I'm going to stick that guy. Do whatever you want to do. I'm going to stick that guy. Okay, we're going to do what he said. That take on the response. Who's going? He literally had to take on a guy who I didn't even know was a Chicago Bull, and put him out there to try to play defense. That's how bad it was, because they weren't defending. There's not a way to fix that. That's all heart right there. They could lose again by 30 with the Pacers.
At this point, all I want to see is the rookie come in, do some work. I'd love to see Pat Williams with a 30-10 game.
Well,
That's what I'd love to see.
They got to give Pat Williams a ball.
Right?
And
just take the ball. Just take it and come up the court, man.
Look, as soon as I saw Zach LaVine bring up the ball the first
you said
possession,
it. We were sitting there, and you were like, why is Zach bringing the ball up?
Why is he bringing the ball up? So they're already confused on the point guard already. Put the ball in the point guard's hand. Zach, go to the baseline and run off some screens and get the basketball.
Right.
Why do you got why are you doing that? Get the ball out of his hands, give it to Kobe. We were watching the game. Dude, why is he doing
At some point you've got to ask yourself, is what I'm doing working? And if it's not working, then maybe I should do something else. I can do something else to help my team. But at this point, I don't know, man. I thought Zach was going to be the guy, and I thought that he was going to be able to rehab.
Zach could be the guy, but you got to put the guy in a position to win. You know what I'm saying? You got to put him in a position. That's a lot of good talk there. You got to give him the right what he needs. Zach can get off, but you got to get a Zach tacking off the wings. Let him get some one-on-one. Let him get some backdoor cuts and get to the basket. Let him use his athleticism. But, you got him bringing up the ball. Now what? He's not a facilitator, even though he's giving the ball to Kobe. But now you're getting the ball. Kobe catching the ball with his back to the basket. Now he's got to turn around and reassess the situation. Now you're 12 seconds into the shot clock now. Now you're asking him to make a decision. Give him the ball. Let him come up the court and look. Let him push the ball up the court. Every time Atlanta got a chance to run, they were running. Here they come. Cam Reddish leading the break. Trae Young, forwards leading the break. Everybody's running. What were the Bulls doing? I saw one play. Zach LaVine should have ran down and cut off Kobe White, but he started throttling down because I think he thought that Wendell Carter Jr. was going to come up, and Wendell Carter Jr. started backing up. So now you gave Trae Young about 14 feet of open space. I mean, you can't do that. But we don't even have basic defensive principles down yet. You know what I'm saying? In football, if you're playing football, if you're running a basic 5-2 defense, everybody knows what to do in a 5-2 defense. You don't even have to call nothing.
That's right. Nope, you don't.
Everybody knows how to run a 5-2 defense. If you don't know how to run a 5-2 defense, that's the first defense you learn in high school is a 5-2.
Correct.
And if you want to get a little advanced, then off the tight end side, you're going to bump that linebacker over and you're going to move your line down. Now you're basically in a 4-3. Mm-hmm. But it's like, come on, those are the two basic defenses you learn. You learned that in 6th grade, 7th grade, how to run a 5-2 and a 4-3. Basic defense. Just play basic defense. I don't know. Don't understand it.
Well, there is one thing I do understand. I understand that because this is the season of giving, that we are giving such quality information to our listeners and giving them quality content that we would appreciate, that you appreciate us by liking new episodes,
and
sharing new episodes, and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It's easy. Just hit the button. Boop, boop, boop. Hit the button down there. We give you quality content. You look around the area, some guys flashing around a little bit. You get guys out here that don't give you the information like we give it to you. We're out here for you. My voice has been gone for 2 weeks, and I'm still out here swinging. And the thing about it is, man, because we love doing this. We love being out here with you guys, and we're going to be here. We ain't going nowhere. And just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, put us out there, hit the share.
Yeah. And again, as I've said to you before, those of you who don't like, subscribe, and share to this, not only to Iron Skillet TV, but Iron Skillet Radio. If you're not listening to the podcast, if you're not watching the show, that is because you were abused as a child and you don't understand the wonderfulness of having two people who care about you. It's like a loving family. When you've got two people here who are here for you, we nurture you. We give you the best we've got. So we're just expecting that at some point you realize that this is the best you got and you've got to support it. We are family. If you're listening to this, we are family, and we will help you through your sports radio talk abuse. I know you've been abused. I know you have. I know a lot of you have listened to the radio and you've listened to abusive men and maybe some abusive women, but we're not that. We're here to help you. And so help us to help you. Help us to help you by sharing, liking, subscribing, you know, doing
That,
those little things you got to do.
that was your PSA announcement.
Yes, it was. It was. And it was right before I have to ask you, Jay Sizzle.
Yes, sir.
I know it's cold outside, so you got to leave the people with something hot, baby. What's on your sizzle? What's burning your biscuits?
Now, we know it's the season of giving. And
Yeah.
some of you fellas out there think you got this on lock. You're out there giving where you ain't supposed to be giving.
Uh-oh.
But, and you got that present in the trunk of your car.
Mm.
Let me get you some explanations now. Let me get some.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in there and grab the wrong present and put it underneath that tree. Don't go do it. Because I know y'all out there getting these presents wrapped with the same wrapping paper. I know. Because you bought the gift at the same place. I know you did. But do not come up in there with a size 10 sweater and your wife wear 18. There's going to be a problem.
That's hot fire. You know what I was thinking is that you do it to be economical. You try and be gift efficient and get 2 for 1 because you're right in the place and you get it a 2 for 1. But yeah, if your wife is a 44 triple D, please don't bring her home a 36 B cup.
Yeah, just don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And that little sweater is costing you a whole bunch of money. You need to leave the little sweater alone. Go home. That's what you need to do. Because
ain't nothing for you out here, though.
Ain't nothing but heartache. That's why you out there, nothing but heartache. And guess what? She getting other sweaters other than yours. Believe me.
Ooh, baby, we got to. That's too. Let me go ahead and close this out because you just getting all beside yourself, Jay Sizzle. You know what it is. You know who it is. This is the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the talk of the 219. I'm your host, G Sizzle. He's your host, Jay Sizzle. We are in the building, baby, and we are hot. We are live. We're always here for you. So remember, we'll catch you on the other side. And